What's up, boys? Today we're going to be checking out the massive .7 update to yet another Zombie Survivors. So the meta progression was completely redone, the trees have been changed around a bit, and then every class has their own specific skill tree now. So when I was looking at the update, the Pyro's new abilities looked really cool, so we're going to be focusing on him. So there's evolutions now for every ability in the game, apparently, or maybe just a few, I'm not exactly sure, but we want to try those out since they look sick in the little GIF and the update notes. And then there's also synergy perks now, so we're going to be grabbing the tank and the huntress for the two synergies to go with him. Items have been changed quite a bit. You can't really infinitely stack them anymore. There's limited slots, but they have some pretty powerful effects. So some of the ones that sounded cool to me were the ability scaling stuff here. There was one that gave you scaling with pickup radius and one that gave you scaling with movement speed, I think. We're going to try and find those ones, so we'll go ahead and grab the Pyro. Let's go for the first map for now and endless mode. And then badges. Explosive. That might be okay. I think that works with the tank synergy that we have available. Oh, we have 4 of them. Okay, so I can just take all of the ones that I have currently, and then we only have 1 difficulty level, it looks like, for now. So we've got our little axe. Oh, you can change the camera now, I believe, to make it follow you a bit better. Camera movement centered, there we go. So that'll make it a little bit easier to see exactly where you are, I guess. I'm not sure why I'm poisoning them right now. Maybe all damage over time effects? No, I don't think I should have any of those yet either. Don't know. So we are looking for the Bernie type skills, Molotov cocktail, let's go. Let's see, is there anything over here now? Oh yeah, there's a ton of different status effects you can apply based on the different types of damage. But we're going to be focusing on fire, and then we'll probably end up with some explosive from the tank or something. But we want the Molotov cocktail since that'll throw a cocktail full of Molotovs that will burn them. Pretty nice area already, and we're going to be trying to scale that up. Let's see, some pretty nice stats if you get low on HP. Probably not going to happen much currently. Let's go ahead and grab the other fire ability that leaves a trail on the ground behind us whenever it activates. Let's grab, I guess, another ability. It looks like that one's probably, oh, you can tell over here, explosive and kinetic. So that actually has some pretty nice deep buffs for us at some points. Although we're trying to go more into the fire side for this run. Let's see, duration and cooldown. Duration, cooldown. Let's go with the cocktail first, I think. Probably a bit easier to use since it has some range on it. We will take the firewalk here. Oh yeah, there's some type of synergies now based on the number of abilities that have shared tags. So I guess we can see over here I have 4 fire, which gives me 14% chance to burn. And then a bit of damage every 0.5 seconds. Oh, at 10 or more tags, every tick has a chance to apply burn to nearby enemies. Okay, cool. A lot of new stuff, wow. More cocktail. This game doesn't seem to get updates that often, but every one has seemed pretty big. So we're looking for tank and huntress for our synergies. We'll just take the liberate for now and really pump up our pyro abilities until we find them without having to waste rerolls or anything. Ice cocktail? Is that in evolution points? I am not sure. It has a... Oh, can we see anything up here? Just the total number of tags, I guess. I guess I'm gonna take this. I don't really know what's happening, but it does sound useful. Oh, we get two of them at the same time. Both rating pools, kind of cool. Okay. Oh yeah, stats have no caps anymore. We're gonna get super heavy into the ability stuff. So I guess we'll banish weapon damage. Probably not gonna get any use out of that. And grab this. But these stats that have sort of unique scaling, like cooldown and let's grab the firewalk here. Dodge and stuff where you would be able to break the game with them at a certain point, they'll have diminishing returns, so you can't really ever get like 100% dodge or anything, I believe. And I had my meta progression like giga overcapped before this patch, and now I'm not even close to having everything. So I need to grind out all of the stuff I can get. 15% chance for the ability to reduce its cooldown by half, reduce movement and pairing effects. Magnets collect a bunch of stuff. Collecting a magnet grants a bonus of ability cooldown reduction. Looks like we have 8 slots available. So I guess later on this will give us a lot of ability. This is completely passive. Let's go ahead and grab this. Oh yeah, I think a bunch of the items were actually disabled in the infinite mode. Some of them that seem to have some really high scaling effects, I guess to make it so you don't become too ridiculous. But I'm also really lacking the specialization points for each character, so a lot of their abilities are pretty low level right now as well. I had all of them maxed out before, and now I have 20 points, and it seems like they need like 30 plus for some of this stuff. Wait, is that giving me tags for every single level in those? 6 explosive? I guess so. I think there was some bonus at 10 tags that was supposed to be pretty strong. So I guess that's actually not too hard to get. With every single level giving one. Ability critical chance, nah, we'll take more of the no pain passive. Try and stay somewhat close to him, so whenever the firewalk activates, he'll have to charge through the fire trail for some bonus damage. So we've got some passives now. What is my base movement speed? 180. So 5 would be about half of 5%. I might want weapon crit chance at some point. I think there's something that works with that and abilities together. Let's go ahead and grab some ability area. We can probably banish weapon crit damage, since we would just be using them for the utility and not the actual damage. We're gonna be pretty weak against bosses, I think, until we get some decent cooldown reduction. Since my AoE is okay, but my damage is just kind of inconsistent right now with the long cooldowns. We also haven't gotten any of our synergy survivors yet, so we'll take some more no pain, I think. So we don't want either of these. I guess I might use some rerolls just to try and get some more useful stuff going. Okay, here's Huntress. And that had a synergy with, I think, her decoy thing, causing extra explosions or something. So I think we'll be pretty heavy onto fire plus explosive. I don't remember. I think there's something with Bear Trap and the tank. And that's also a new skill added in the patch, I believe. Multiple traps that hold enemies in place. Good enough for bears, should be good enough for zombies. Seems like a fairly long cooldown, but that'll probably go down with the levels. Zombie decoy, I think we need that for something. We can get a bear trap level here, and then another decoy. I guess probably more no pain. Massive stats if you do get low enough, so might come in clutch at some point. White power-ups duration, receive damage, gain weapon attack speed, collect a bunch of stuff. 3 to every damage type tag, but -1 to the ones that you're stacking. So I guess that would kind of give you a bunch of random damage over time effects and debuffs? And I'm also curious to whether they both apply to certain things. So we're at 9 on the fire, and that does go up, so there's never a downside to that. It just helps you apply debuffs a ton, it seems like. Okay. I was thinking, since it sounded pretty powerful, it might only apply the -1 to the things that you're stacking, but I guess that's not the case. Just purely upsides with that. We have some rares. I will definitely grab me some ability. Oh, it only applies to one of them. Oh, and then 50% to the others. Okay. Well, we're going pyro. Let's get arrow rain. That's another ability that has the kinetic tag. So a debuff for all damage types taken. We could definitely use some more cooldown reduction for the abilities to add a bit more consistency to the build right now. Kind of hard to move around at certain points when we don't really have any of the abilities coming up. And the base cooldowns are also pretty long at like 25 and 30 seconds before you get them maxed out. So do these just apply to every single ability? So like our decoy could explode and apply like 10 different debuffs? It seems kind of weird and also kind of powerful. But we are applying bleed on the attack, although that does have the slashing tag, so it might just be the ones that match the tag for that. Let's grab some more arrow rain. Arrow rain. each damage type tag with at least 3, you gain some nice ability stats. First reroll is free, reduced movements. Critical hits give a stacking buff for weapon stats, which is normally extremely good, but probably not here. I think I'm definitely going to grab some Sapphire. We want all of those stats and a lot of them for this run. And that should pair nicely with the other items since that'll give a bunch of the tags. Let's grab more arrow rain. Try and get that AoE of bits. Engineer SWAT. I think I'm gonna try and grab the tank now, so he can start leveling his stuff too. I said I'm gonna try and grab the tank now. There we go. Arrow rain single. Few single arrows are launched, each creating electric explosions on hits. Arrow rain now occurs multiple times, plus 1 for every 10% of ability duration stats. Man, they both sound so cool. Can I see that item I just got? Each damage type with at least 3, and we already have electric, so we don't need to take that. This sounds really cool with a lot of ability duration. And that's going to work nicely with the Pyro's abilities, so I think I'm going to try this one. Rare XP modifier, sure. More Bear Trap. Bombing Strike works with Explosive, and we are going pretty heavily into that, so might be kind of helpful. Or actually, if we want to see as many ability evolutions as possible, I should probably max that. And then we can grab that here for some more damage. Minefield has an evolution that goes with the Pyro's Firewalk, I think. Or a synergy, I guess it was. Fury Unleash is all weapon-based stats. We might take that at some point. I kind of want to save my rerolls for the items now to find some cool stuff, so I guess we'll just grab some Fire Axe to eventually get the Flamethrower to add even more fire to the build. Burning enemies have a chance to explode on every tick. Sounds sick. 2 seconds of movement speed, you gain some health regen, lose dodge. 2 to a bunch of different tags. Or 4 based on that. Dodge, cash, and XP. Huh, pretty good for farming. We only have 5 slots left. Let's definitely lock in the fire thing. That seems way too important to pass up. And then that puts us at a lot of fire tags for even more burning chance and damage. We can go some more bombing strike here, improves all of the stats on it. Ability duration, we want that. And put that on the pyro. Looks like more minefield here. I feel like the base cooldown on the abilities shouldn't be quite so high, but it should get less scaling per level. It's just kind of weird that they start at like a 30-second cooldown. Feels like you need several points in them for them to really even do anything with such an insane cooldown by default. More bear trap here. More minefields. Let's grab more minefield, try and get that up to a point where we can take the synergy for it eventually. There was that one best in slot item in the game where every SOS you reacted to would give you damage. Minefield shrapnel goes up to 7 count. Fragmentation mines that deal additional slashing damage. Okay, so that'll go with the bleed stuff then. Yeah, that stacking item was changed a bit. It still gives you stacking damage, but there's a cap on it now. So it's not as necessary to take, I think. But it used to be like a best in slot item that you wanted to get at the very start of an endless run if you could. Bear trap arrows. Few frozen arrows around on activation. Sounds kind of cool. We actually have at least 3 on everything, so that's the max for that item, right? Every with at least 3, yeah, so we have that completely maxed out for our abilities now, cool. So, freezing bear trap arrows. Dodge or parry, create an explosion. Every empty item slot, so that's going to be useless eventually. Ability attacks on full health. Enemies are now critical. I think this doesn't really work very well for a fire build where we're going to be doing lots of smaller hits over time. Without receiving damage, increase damage by 1%. Let's banish this to make it a bit easier to find stuff and then do some rerolls. Weapon-based stuff, open a chest, create an explosion. Nope. Oh, here's the thing. Every time you react to an SOS, gain 10% damage, so 50% max. What does that do? I could take that, but I think there's some more interesting stuff still. That again, when one of the military training upgrades is on lockdown, triple the chance of higher quality upgrades. Let's reroll again, see what else there is. Killing Frenzy on boss kill. Random white power-up of another type. Defeating an elite or boss instantly reloads weapons, grants 20% weapon cooldown. I guess we had to take the Ring of Power because it's just showing up every time. But I'm really trying to find the things that scale with pickup radius and movement speed since they sounded interesting. We can go some more bombing strike. I think that is pretty good AoE. And then finish that off, I think. Or get it ready for the evolutions now, I suppose. We might want attack speed and cooldown if we get the thing that scales based on the number of weapon hits, so let's not banish those. Just grab a bit of ability damage for now. want to say there was an item that had a chance to give you cooldown reduction on your abilities when you hit with it, or something like that. So we might end up wanting some weapon cooldown or stuff like that for that. Sawblade drone is an ability, sure. I feel like this build is going to make it very hard to see later on once we scale up a lot of our offensive caster stats, or decoy, as we scale up like duration and cooldown reduction. When all the abilities overlap like that, it's already getting a little bit hard to see. Did they ever add something to turn down the visual effects? I don't think so. So yeah, that's probably going to get pretty rough. I guess you could turn off blood and gore for a small improvement. Not sure what that does. The strength of glow visual effects. Okay, so having that turned off would probably help then. Sawblade, I think. Military training lockdown. Weapon attacks on enemies are at full health or critical. Oh, here we go. Weapon criticals have a 50% chance to reduce ability cooldowns by 0.1, with a cooldown of a 0.2 on that. We only have 3 slots left, but it does sound cool. We have a legendary ability cooldown. Yup. Put that on the pyro. So we will want to get both weapon cooldown and critical chance if they are offered at high rarity, just to trigger that effect a bit more often. We can go level 3 Fire Axe, I guess. Oh, I guess we do want the Fury Unleashed at some point, since that'll help trigger that, and our ability cooldown reduction will improve the uptime on it a bit as well. We can go another Sawblade drone. I'm not sure if there's anything specific you need to do for the synergy upgrades. I'm guessing probably max out the ability on both characters and have the evolutions for them fully maxed out. More Sawblade. Oh yeah, it looks like Leech isn't a stat anymore, right? I didn't see any mention of that, but we don't seem to have it. Sawblade drones cogwheels, an additional row of Sawblade drones in the other direction. Sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. Pretty nice attack speed and cooldown reduction, which will then trigger that item a lot more often. And that gives some pretty nice boost to the buff. Damage against full health is a critical hit. Final damage is around 1/2 higher. Like I said, I don't think that's going to be great for a damage over time build. That's actually not terrible now with the item. But since it has a cooldown on triggering, it might end up being a bit overkill. See if we can find something cool here. Ability area by 5% for every 10% pickup. Okay, that's the pickup thing I was talking about. That sounds really cool for an ability-based build. So pickup range is actually quite good for us now. And can you still get that as a random stat upgrade? Looks like it. So we already have a bit of scaling for that at 125. That'll give us an extra 10% on top of that, which it shows at the bottom, it looks like. More no pain. Let's see, how does armor work now? 100 armor gets 50% damage reduction, and then it scales at a similar way for every 100, it looks like. Here, let's go a bit more movements, I think. We can go up to level 3, or 4 I guess. Yeah, that's decent. Both duration and cooldown reduction at the same time massively improves the uptime. Can you see the modified cooldown with your stats? Can I even see my ability? Oh, there we go. That's... where's the tank? How do I see the tank? What? Oh, wait, what? There's only like 2 of them at the same time on here, right? I don't know. Looks like I can't see the modified duration with my current cooldown reduction. Oh well. Evolution here. The bonus is reduced, but requirements are reversed. Okay. So that'll always be active if we're at good health. I'm assuming that's probably pretty good. Seems like some nice stats, and it'll be probably easier to keep up in most situations. Rare movement, we like that. Fury Unleashed up to level 4, sure. It seems like outside of the synergy upgrades, Pyro might not synergize that well with these guys though. We've got a lot of elemental damage, and I haven't seen much elemental for Huntress or Tank. Chance for free reroll or banish, we're almost out of all of that. I really want to find the movement speed based thing. So I think what we're going to do is banish some of these and then skip, I guess. More Fire Axe. Grab the blowtorch to apply a lot more hits with that. Yep. More blowtorch, I guess. It seems like I'm missing something to find the synergy abilities, because we are not really finding many ability upgrades now. Looks like they added a bunch of new achievements to the game as well if you like hunting those down. More blowtorch, I guess. That's actually a lot of freezing arrows off of the bear trap there, wow. They're just flying all over the screen. More blowtorch, I guess. We're just literally not even finding any ability stuff now. Damage to elite and boss enemies, magnets. I think we skip this and keep looking for the really cool stuff. Oh, I could have banished something as well. Is there like an encyclopedia in the game to look at the items available? Doesn't seem like it's. More ability duration. Onto the pyro. Flamethrower should be excellent at applying a lot of hits with a weapon for our cooldown reduction item. More flamethrower. flamethrower. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff going on the screen now. And we haven't even ramped up that much yet. Explosions, fire everywhere, more flamethrower. Open a chest, explosion, military trainings, at least rare quality. That's actually not bad. Empty item slots, nope. It actually said this item was disabled in the infinite mode when I was looking at the item list earlier. Weird. I just really want to get the movement speed scaling thing. Let's banish this and then skip again. We already got some decent movement speeds to go with that as well, if I can find it at some point. Rare armor, don't mind that. So it looks like it uses the formula where like 100 armor doubles your effective health, 200 armor triples it, 300 quadruples it, etc. I think. These are just not the ability stuff. How do I get the synergies, man? We have all of the abilities maxed other than decoy. That's not a bolt. I guess we just need to keep getting this stuff so we can get it out of the way. Ability cooldown, that's not bad. I guess we'll probably grab that. Oh, does that go on Huntress? Let's just keep leveling stuff for now. See if we can hopefully find the synergies at some points. Two movement speed. Multi-shot for the bow. Multi-shots. Magnet power-ups, 5 seconds without receiving damage, killing frenzy, cash from any source other than skips activates a super speed white power-up. We skip these. I banished the maximum number of items from the list you could as well to try and make the stuff that sounded cool a bit more common, but it doesn't appear to have been particularly effective for this run so far. More multi-shot, I guess. Maybe some ability crits? That has diminishing returns? 24.2? That seems a bit strange. Put that on the pyro. Multi-shots. We are quickly running out of room to move around the map, so I could really use some synergy abilities right about now. Or, you know, a nice movement speed scaling item. Banish, military potato medkits. Nah. Freezing arrows. We do have some decent ice, and extra crowd control could be helpful. Either that or explosive. We do have a ton of explosive and kinetic, so that actually might synergize with the build a bit more. But I could really use some CC, I think. We're getting absolutely swarmed now. We can upgrade the freezing arrows. Let's grab a little bit of arrow penetration to improve their AoE potential a bit. Oh my god, there's so much going on the screen right now. I guess we actually do have a fair amount of freezing stuff for the Huntress now. We have both the freezing arrows and the bear trap evolution that shoots the arrows everywhere when it explodes. More cooldown reduction. Toss that on the pyro, like always. Oh my god. We're about to die and there's nothing I can do. We're just completely swarmed with nowhere to move, and I'm not finding any of these synergies for some reason. We did get a bunch of achievements and some unlocks. Some nice debuff related things. Let me see if I can find that item in the list that I was looking for. So I banished the maximum number of things you could do. It looks like I got one more available. Let's see, these are all debuff related things. Where's the movement speed thing that sounds really cool? That one. Every movement speed over, or every 5 over 100 adds 1% ability damage, area, and duration. That would have been so sick there, man. 3 extremely good stats for us, and we had a bunch of movement speed. But I banished as many things as I could, and I just couldn't find that. But that would have been so sick there. Am I missing something for the synergies? We have them... Oh, is that just a passive thing that's always active, actually? That must be what it is, okay. Oh, we were missing a bunch of evolutions for all the abilities. Because the previous max that it started with from having the old iteration max wasn't enough for that. So we were missing some big upgrades there, actually. That would have been huge, and then we only have them at level 1 as well, because it takes a bunch of points that you need to grind out now as well. So we could have had a lot of cooldown reduction, a bit more duration and damage on that. And the cocktail as well, that would have been huge also. So yeah, I guess they're probably just passive then, and I was just misunderstanding that. Most of the games you have to actually upgrade synergies. But we had decoy evolutions, arrow penetration. That sounds interesting. And then we were missing a bunch of badges as well. Ice would have been pretty helpful there, I think. And then on tank, he didn't get any unlocks there. That's kind of weird. But we could have gotten more badges or something. A lot of big upgrades we're missing currently, I guess. But yeah, that is a lot of really cool changes. Items have been completely revamped, new specialization trees for every character in the game. You do need to do some grinding to get them, even if you had everything maxed out before. There's also a generic tree with some more points as well. But yeah, the game seems really cool now. I've been loving every update they've added to it so far. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.